Hello, and welcome to our fusion session with Symphony, Nova Scotia and Dinuk Wijeratne. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the unceded and ancestral territory of the Mi'kmaq people. I'm Suzanne Lemieux, Symphony Nova Scotia's principal oboist, and I'll be your host for today, and we'll hear Dinuk Wijeratne's beautiful new work, Gajaga Vannama. Afterwards, we'll have a question and answer with Dinuk, so he can answer all the questions we have about this new work. I'd like to thank the following sponsors: BMO Private Wealth, Factor, the Province of Nova Scotia, and the Government of Canada. Thank you, and enjoy.
Takkita tarikita jitta te jitta te tumita kata takkita tarikita ta kunda jikkita tarikita ta kunda takkita tarikita jikkita tarikita donkita tarikita ji kunda ta ka jitta gata domi kita tirikita kunda ta takkita tarikita jitta te tumita kata te tumita kata takkita tarikita ta kunda jikkita tarikita ta kunda ta kada tarikita jikkita tarikita don kada kita tak kada tarikita jikkita tarikita don kada tarikita tak kada tarikita jik tarikita don kada tarikita tak tarikita jik tarikita don tarikita tak kada tarikita don kada ta ji kunda ta ji kunda ta ji kunda ta ka jitta gata dommi kita tirikita kunda ta
So thank you, Dinuk, for this fabulous performance. And now we have some questions for you. First, we'd love to hear more about Gajaga Vannama. What inspired it, and what was your experience writing it?
Usually when these commissions come, I try to find the right story for the right medium. And when the commission, it was a co-commission that came from the Manitoba Chamber Orchestra and iMusici, and they said, we want you to conduct something from the piano with just strings. And then I just thought, okay, well, it takes me a long time to find just the right story to tell, right? It's got to be the right medium. And I just thought, well, I would really love to do something with Sri Lankan traditional material. And then I thought, okay, well, if you take this on, you feel a huge responsibility, to your own heritage, So it was actually, I guess people assume it's easy. They just think, oh, well, you know Sri Lankan music. But I just so wanted to do it right. And so I enlisted the help of a couple of ethnomusicologist friends who just gave me tons of material, traditional material to listen to, and I just loved it. It took me back to the sounds of childhood, and just going there also on holiday and hearing a lot of religious ceremonies and processions which involve the music of the story. And so I should tell you, there's a dance form called Vannam, right? And this is a dance form that probably dates to about the 1700s, where people used to sing melodies first, and then they realized, oh, well, you can start dancing to this. And because there was a lot of influence from, South India too, it was a mix of the elements of the two biggest ethnic groups in Sri Lanka, which are the Sinhalese and the Tamils. And I'm very happy to say that I'm actually a product of both. So this has also been, a sort of fusion piece within Sri Lankan music, I like to think. And what's been interesting for me, delving into this material, is how hotly contested the idea of tradition and innovation was. Because they have these original melodies, and then no doubt the first person said, oh, you can't dance to this, but then they danced to it. And now the dancers have a certain kind of traditional association, and so now when people sort of adapt the dances or do something more contemporary with the dances, they probably think it's, just too risque. So I just thought, okay, why not just go all the way and create something for this medium, the Western classical medium, with the piano, with the strings, based on a melody and a dance form that celebrates the majesty of the elephant. Essentially, that's what it is.
That's terrific. In terms of, authenticity and cultural appropriation, all those words that are of concern, I think that you've really covered all your bases.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, it's funny, it's surreal. Like, you get the most worried. I mean, I've written a tabla concerto, as you know, and I'm very familiar with Indian classical music. I was more petrified about appropriating, the music from my own country, because you just want to do it right. And as I said, I had the help of some friends who are really steeped in this material.
What does it feel like to be performing and conducting your own music all at the same time? Like,
I think it's the best seat in the house. So usually, being on the podium, I always say, is the best seat in the house, because you're so close to the musicians and you can see the musicians. But just having then this instrument there that you love and you hate, depending on the day, is just so great. And then the orchestra just becomes a sort of extension of that. There are some things that you have to navigate, like you have to write the music in a way where you can't be giving hand signals. So you have to work out the logistics, but it's a lot of fun and it's a big challenge.
Yes. These days, do you find you're doing more composing than conducting and performing, or vice versa?
Well, I mean, we are in a pandemic, and I don't know if you saw the meme of the composer during the pandemic, but there was this pre-pandemic picture of the composer in his or her studio, just writing away, surrounded by books. And then there's the post-pandemic, the during-pandemic picture, which is exactly the same picture. So that is the life of me in my studio. I've just been, just doing my thing, getting through all these commissions. And I think that's how I identify myself first. I'm a creator. But of course, it's missing all of these live performances, which is why I was so excited to come today.
Yes. So the year having been so different, what's something that you've learned or discovered this year as an artist that you expect to carry forward with you?
Gosh, that's a great question. I think a lot about just reconnecting with the power of music. thinking about what music does at its most fundamental level. This is a medium of sound. That's all it is. And you can create whatever sound you want, provided you know that there's an end user who is listening to it, who is either going to be moved or will receive the message, And so that's been great. If one has had more solitude to think of, okay, well, what's my message and how am I going to make the sound tell that story? But I think also because I've spent a lot of time during these months not socializing with musicians in the way we usually do in person, but actually through Zoom, private conversations, many, many private conversations, being on the phone, and just hearing about how my colleagues are also navigating through this time. That's been really interesting because, the music industry in many ways is kind of on pause, waiting to go back to things as normal. I always think, well, what is the new normal? Is it going to look exactly the same way? Or can we take some of the things we've learned from this time, and of course the great social movements of the last year, for example, how are these things now going to change the next chapter of making art when we just all rush out again?
Yeah. This is your first trip back to Nova Scotia in some time. What's it like to be back?
Feels like home. Feels like home.
Welcome. I know you do a lot of work around creativity and inclusivity in the arts. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that connects with all these conversations. So one of the things I did was I sort of launched this, it's called the Creativity Consultancy, and I just wanted to help young artists, mostly actually young artists, but there have been some mid-career artists, talking about how to optimize creativity in their medium, because we all want to be creative. And I've discovered from all of these conversations that everyone at a fundamental level wants to be authentic, right? So for instance, I've been able to sit here and I've had the privilege of playing you a personal and autobiographical story. That's a privilege, and I've been lucky that you've listened to it. And I just think all musicians want that, we want a unique, we want to be able to express a unique artistic perspective and find some way to do that and make it meaningful. And those conversations I've had with people have been very, very enriching. Yeah, just to hear about everything everyone wants to do.
Yeah, I think it's terrific. I heard you say about how music allows anyone to express themselves. And I think this allowance is really something that I will take in the new normal.
Absolutely. I think, it begins with us believing that first there's enough room, right? And I think, let's talk about this medium. This is the Western classical medium. It is steeped in incredible history, right? From the beginning of the orchestras that started with just a couple of musicians, evolving for hundreds of years into like huge beasts, right? And we want to see the same kind of innovation happen. And it's a kind of also a societal innovation in the sense that, if you live in a multicultural city, you hope that the orchestras will reflect the multiculturalism. If the city has a certain sort of ethos or identity, you want that instrument to reflect that. And I think there is enough room, because if I put pen to paper and I think, I'm starting a new piece, I always feel like the canvas is completely blank. I don't feel hindered, and I think that's a blessing. So I wouldn't want any other artist to feel hindered.
What is coming up next for you? Are you working on anything new?
I have a number of projects on the go that I really hope I don't get behind on. And one I'm very much looking forward to is the test piece for the Banff International String Quartet competition.
Oh, congratulations.
So, and again, it took me a long time to find the sort of story for that. And I didn't want the piece to sort of be about any kind of pandemic angst. I wanted it to be a gloriously escapist piece in the best sense. So it's actually about the theft of the Mona Lisa back in 1911. I came across that story and I just read about it and I just thought, whoa, you couldn't script that into a Hollywood film if you tried. Like, this is a true story, It's like someone hiding in a closet and then stealing the painting, when the museum was closed. And I just thought, oh, that's a piece right there. And it's probably like an insanely difficult virtuoso piece for 4 young string players, so let's see how that goes.
Will they know that that's the story?
Yes, for sure.
And finally, when we go home today, What should we listen to next? Do you have any new discoveries or recommendations for us? Your favorites?
I'm always asking people, but maybe after this piece, go on YouTube and check out some Sri Lankan traditional drumming. It's wild stuff. It's amazing. I'm obsessed with drumming traditions just generally across the globe, and the Sri Lankan tradition is very, very unique. It's so different from what else is in the diaspora, and all of these traditions from all of these different cultures, they have such interesting time feels, And it just reminds us that, you can call a pulse, but everyone feels where that pulse is just slightly differently, and that really fascinates me.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for speaking with us, and also thank you for playing your piece with us and conducting the whole concert. It's been such a pleasure to hear the orchestra and hear your piece and have you come with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure always. Thanks, everyone.